Counselor? There's a raccoon stuck in the vending machine.
That's so annoying. I wanted a snack.
Welcome to Trail Mix.
Our mini episodes from Camp Counselors podcast.
Each week, the stories come from you, our Camp Shady Birch campers.
We want to hear your juicy gossip,
Top secret confessions,
embarrassing and scary stories.
and sprinkle in our sage counselor advice.
Trail Mix is for the campers.
And God, do we love ya.
Hey, happy campers!
Welcome back to Trail Mix.
This is our mini episode where we read listener-submitted stories brought to you by listeners like you. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. I have some tea I want to just bring to the cabins.
Okay, what's the tea? I've got my kettle.
I don't know if it's shit talking, but it's an observation that was truly bewildering on our flight.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm going to talk about?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure what you're going to talk about.
Okay. We were on a flight, you guys. Where were we going to Charlotte?
Yes.
We were flying to Charlotte, and I observed some sort of kerfuffle in first class. We were in Comfort Plus. I hate to brag, but Jonathan has long legs. He cannot sit in the normal seats.
I do. Call me Nicolas Cage.
I'm fine. I'm literally the size of like a microwave oven, a little toaster oven.
We could put you in the carry-on stowaway.
I'm teeny. I'm tiny.
I'm getting the pink tag.
So they had that suggestion of a curtain in between first class and
the normies
and the Comfort Plus crew. And I see this man kind of like flagging the flight attendants down. And he's like very upset. And what we gathered from simply pausing our playlist and our podcast and locking into the situation here was that the man was sitting in a broken seat in first class, which is kind of a bummer. What do you think?
That is such a bummer. Absolutely. And it's also like, what are you going to do? We can't get you a new seat. They're like, I don't even know how they would do that.
Well, thank God the flight to Charlotte was so empty. Like it was one of those flights where like they wouldn't move you around because they had to like just like distribute the weight.
Right.
So they end up putting him in the aisle kind of right near us in Comfort Plus. And I was like, oh, I hope he gets like a discount because that's not fair to pay for first class and then be put in the downgrade in the slums with us in Comfort Plus. So I'm feeling kind of bad for this man, but the man stands up, and this man, he's just like a big guy. He's probably like over 6'5", and he's like just solid. Like he's just like a really like could have been a football player, like a big burly man,
muscular.
Yeah, just solid, like an ox.
He was very tall. But what I will say is the woman who was sitting next to him in first class looked annoyed, and we missed that chapter.
Yeah, well, it's not her fault. The chair is broken.
I don't think she was mad at the broken chair. I think she was annoyed at the man.
He definitely was like a man's like a man spreader too.
And the flight attendant, who was extremely flamboyant and gay, we were getting all the tea from just his expressions. Like we speak Gayanese, and that you can't wipe that off your face.
No, because you could tell that the way he was talking about it was he was very frustrated. So it was kind of like a mess. So I'm entertained. Thank God for that. Like I'm winning here. So they put him in the seat, like kind of like catty corner to us. So I'm still locked in. I'm listening to a podcast, but now I'm just kind of observing. And he like starts like setting up his little workstation. And he's like clacking away at his computer.
I thought he was going to pull out an important document. He pulls out Bubble Witch 3.
Did he?
He did.
Well, we all got to get our fix somehow. I love Bubble Witch 3.
I know
saga continues. So then he starts like fidgeting and moving around a lot. Campers, I want to say this on record, and I'm going to speak for the Delta staff on that flight. I believe that man broke the chair in first class. I don't think it was given to him broken. I think he broke it because when he got in and out of his seat to go to the bathroom, I have never seen a human being sit down in a seat on a plane the way that he was sitting down.
I don't even know how to describe it. It was like a lazy flop of the body. It was like almost like a gymnast would use their arms to get up on the rings. That's what he was using the entire chair for. And arched his back to fling himself standing up. I think he was just like one of those stereotypical businessmen, not to draw a conclusion, but to grab the paper and pen and draw that conclusion.
Because Campers, he would you fling his body forward and get off. And then sometimes, I think he got up a couple times, because I'm specifically remembering one time where he like sat down on the arm of the chair and then slid his body into the seat. But then like with such force would smash against the back of the seat. And the flight attendants are horrified. And I'm like, this man is going to break a second chair on the flight. And then what do the flight attendants do? Because someone's supposed to sit in that seat the next flight, and now the seat's broken. It's kind of a big mess.
It was literally busted. They were like, put your seat up, and he's like, I can't. Then I'm not going to. So now we're out two seats.
I think he broke the second seat as well. I couldn't believe it.
Crazy, the flailing of it all.
Well, it was entertaining for us, and my seat was fine. But if you were on a flight from Charlotte on that, what was that, Tuesday, and you had a broken seat.
Well, by the time this comes out, the story's like a month old.
Well, if I was flying out of Charlotte on a Tuesday a month ago and a broken seat, I would never forget it.
You would never forget it.
Well, I think this is going to be an episode you're never going to forget because we have some really great stories for you today.
I've got a camper in need of advice with some workplace situation.
Okay. I have a camper who found her personal nightmare on the open waters.
And a camper with hot professional lacrosse player fever. Literally.
Let's get into it.
Are we qualified to be giving advice? No. Are we going to do it anyway? Absolutely. Welcome back to Dear Counselors. So many of our campers need advice, and we're here to give it to you.
We've been giving a lot of advice lately.
We really have. And they've been like pretty good and juicy. Okay. Dear Counselors. Long-time caller, first-time listener. Wait, what? I
think it's
strike that, reverse it. I desperately need your wise words and sage advice. A little context if you care to listen. I work almost exclusively with middle-aged women who are sensitive, argumentative, and sometimes downright entitled.
Ew.
So I must broach this situation with the utmost care and tact so it does not backfire on me. The situation in question is this. 3 coworkers consistently take 25 to 30-minute breaks. Our allotted time for break is only 15 minutes. Their elongated absence often leaves the rest of us in the lurch. What does that mean?
It doesn't sound good.
In the lurch to pick up the slack since they all take breaks together.
I understand.
The solution seems simple. Tell your supervisor or manager, right? Wrong. The main issue arises due to the fact that they are our supervisor and our manager. Part of this group. That's right. This goes all the way to the top. So my question is this. How do I confront these break time bogarts? Wow, quite the vernacular. I don't know what a lot of these words mean. Signed, give me a break in cabin 8.
Oh, okay. So it's quick. It's right to the point.
That's
Did I hear that the boss is one of the people on the breaks?
The supervisor and the boss.
There's nothing you can do, sweetheart. You're out. This is like just truly, this is something that you're going to have to learn to live with, or just make such a mess of what you're doing that they decide to do it on their own. I don't think I would say anything, especially if the 2 head honchos, the Bogarts, are in full effect. I don't know what you can really do here.
We're going to go on Indeed.com and we're going to look for a new job. I'm not kidding. If this continues and you don't actually want to say anything,
definitely rude.
Look for a new job because this is how this place is going to be run. I know that's where, okay, step 1, let's do that. Okay. I think it would be fair to say something. You know, I would be like, oh, how is our allotted time for break flexible? Because I'm going to go do something and see what they say. You can be shady. What's the worst that's going to happen? What's the worst that's going to happen?
It's going to make our job a living hell.
Maybe start making note of the things that you and everyone else are taking over while they're on their breaks and confront them with that, maybe in a kind way. Or something else you could do is say, hey, I've noticed we're kind of understaffed, especially this time to this time when you guys are on break. And what can we do about that?
It's giving pharmacy.
It's giving, put the ball in their court, set them up with the facts and knock it back to them. Because I understand that it's so fucking annoying. It's so fucking frustrating. It's like, we're all here to do a job, but if you're taking a 30-minute, baby, so am I.
I used to work at this nonprofit and none of us like work there anymore. But I would go on these like smoke breaks with like 4 women. So 5 of us would like cram into a car because we couldn't smoke on the property. And one of the girls didn't even smoke. She would just like sit in the back seat because she wanted to like gossip and kiki. And my manager at the time that I hate so much, she was so jealous that I was friends with these girls that they didn't like her.
Oh my God, what's her name? Spell?
It was, you know who the manager was.
Oh.
I just have to stop saying her name publicly because I said it too much online. But
oh God.
OG Zachariah fans know this woman. So she was so mad that I would go on these smoke breaks. And I was like, well, I can't smoke on property. And like, I'm not in the same department as them. So what does it matter if I'm gone? Like, you're covering our section. But it was 3 girls from the same department, and there was only 1 girl in the office. So she made a complaint on behalf of the other girl who never said anything because she never complained. But she was just so jealous that I was on these like trips that the girls didn't like her.
She made a complaint about you on behalf of someone else?
No, she made a complaint for the girl that was left in the other department.
Oh.
She was like, they're leaving her alone. That's not fair for her. And she's like, I'm fine. But she was just so jealous.
Oh my God.
And one time I was smoking in one of their cars, and I went to ash out the window, and it was cold out. So it was just cracked, and we hit a bump, and my cigarette hit the top of the roof of their car, and it was like a light gray roof, and there was a black smudge from the ash of my Marlboro menthol.
Oh my God, that happened in your car with me, and it's still there.
Yeah, well, that car is gone. Oh no, that happened in the Mazda?
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. But it wasn't okay, but it's okay because it's us, not like a new friendship I'm forging at work, and we're bonding over shared cigarettes. But they never noticed, or they never wrote it up. It was like actually stressful, but we only got to that for like maybe 3 weeks while I was there because my boss she nipped that in the bud.
Yeah. Camper, some bosses just make places a living hell.
And guess what? It never got better. So like maybe just leave the job, but also like saying. If you can't, we're different on this. I would say don't say anything because it's only going to make it worse for you. Just do your job maybe poorly in that time. And then when they ask you about it, you can be like, well, I'm alone here, and like use it that way, but I wouldn't confront anybody, but that's just me.
This episode is sponsored in part by Liquid IV. Here at camp, we don't have many rules, but self-love is definitely one of them. For me, this looks like a long walk with my favorite podcast and never apologizing for a second helping of s'mores. And this looks different for everyone, especially when it comes to all the ways you treat and celebrate yourself. Gift yourself the everyday indulgence of extraordinary hydration from Liquid IV, powered by Live Hydroscience. Visit liquidiv.com and fall in love with all their flavors, like the zesty new hydration multiplier sugar-free raspberry lemonade, and use code CAMP to save 20% off your first order. We just got back from performing 12 shows across the country, and hydration was much needed. So I always had a Liquid IV on me because Liquid IV helps replenish electrolytes and supports faster hydration than water alone. Liquid IV is powered by Live Hydroscience, an optimized ratio of electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients that turn ordinary water into extraordinary hydration. Treat yourself to extraordinary hydration from Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code CAMP at checkout. That's 20% off your first order with code CAMP at liquidiv.com.
Scary stories around the campfire.
Welcome back to Scary Stories Around the Campfire. Are you ready to be spooked or embarrassed?
I'm already scared.
This camper has it all. Dear camp counselors, my name is Shannon, and I discovered both of you on TikTok a while ago and recently started binging camp counselors because my good friend Taylor got me tickets for Christmas to the Strip Maltese tour in Medford. Yay!
Yay!
I think this episode comes out the weekend after that show. Hopefully it was good. Having been born in 1993, you guys are so relatable and send me into nostalgic fever dreams with every episode. I can't wait to see you both next month at the show.
Oh my God, yeah, we're going to shake our tits. Hopefully we already did.
I cannot even walk into a room without shaking my yabos. It's like
impossible. Literally, I just jiggle everywhere.
I love your jiggle.
Must be jelly because jam don't shake.
I've been dating my boyfriend Ryan for 4 years. And let's just say our relationship started out pretty rocky, but not in the way you may think. Our first date was the day after Christmas in 2020. We hit it off by talking about our shared love for the outdoors. Ryan is an avid fisherman and a boat owner. And as a lover of the ocean myself, this had me reeled in. We live on South Shore in Massachusetts. Okay! I'm South Coast. I'm not South Shore. I'm South Coast. You're giving Big Hingham energy. It's giving Plymouth. So we had to wait until warmer weather to enjoy some time on the water.
Oh my God, and our camper said Rocky. Plymouth Rock.
Wow, it's giving Plymouth. We decoded. Fast forward to June. Okay, so they've been together for 6 months. It was time for us to go out on our first boating adventure together. This is so romantic. He was in the process of getting a new motor for his boat, but a friend of his was kind enough to let us take his boat for the afternoon. We had a great lunch at a restaurant on Plymouth Harbor.
Oh my God. I got ice cream there once.
You did get ice cream there once. You know what they're talking about. Before hopping on the boat. His goal was to catch some bait for a fishing trip with his friends the following day. Okay, so he's like, small fish, for the big fish tomorrow.
Right, like a little minnow.
Mm-hmm. And my goal was to get some vitamin C and soak up the sun.
I love that. That's just like, bring a drink, crack open a can. Why not?
Vitamin C SEA. Love it. Love it.
That's in someone's house. A camper right now is listening to this, looking at that on their wall.
We got out into the open water and dropped anchor. I was laying like a starfish on the bow, envisioning how this could be how I would be spending this summer and potentially many summers to come with the man I was falling in love with.
This is such a novella.
Then, all of a sudden, the start of my biggest fear I never knew I had begun. The bubble guts.
Oh.
In the middle of the ocean, no land on the horizon, with a man I was falling in love with, on his friend's 20-foot boat without a bathroom.
Oh.
I tried to tell myself it was all in my head and took some deep breaths, but it only got worse. He noticed my overly talkative self get a little too quiet and asked if I was okay. I told him I was fine and I was taking in the beauty of the ocean. I was indeed not fine. I had some explosive knocking at my back door. I asked him how long it would take to get back to the marina because I was starting to not feel well. He told me it would take at least an hour and suggested that standing up and looking at the horizon would help with seasickness. I have never fallen victim to seasickness before. He asked me if I wanted to head back, but I wanted to see if I could push through and start to feel better. A few minutes later, disaster began to strike.
Oh my God, I'm literally like, I'm putting myself in this position and this is awful.
Because you don't want him to come back. This is your first day on the water. You're an hour from shore. It's like, you're just trying to push through.
Okay, wait, can I ask? I know it's the friend's boat, but is it just the two of them on this boat?
Yes.
Okay, okay, go ahead.
What do you think?
I would say this is the point. Yes, we're 6 months in, but we have to look out for ourselves. And hindsight is 2020, but this is the part where you just have to be like, can we go back, please? I'm so sorry, I don't feel good, but
it's an hour, so like my mind would be like, okay, like if I'm this sick, I can't make an hour.
Is he saying it's an hour if we turn around right now, or it's an hour like I plan on being back in an hour?
No, it's an hour if they go back to shore.
Oh my God, how slow is this dinghy?
Well, palms sweaty, knees weak. I've never related to Eminem more in my life. I told him I was going to be sick, and not the type of throwing up over the boat kind of sick.
Mm-hmm.
I needed a toilet.
Mm-hmm.
He scrambled to try to find me something on the boat to help my cause until he found a brand new bucket full of new cleaning supplies, which quickly became a plastic throne.
Oh my God.
Reminder, we weren't on his boat. I dropped trowel, hovered over the bucket, and started to release the demons that were inside of me.
And you know it is an echo chamber. That is not a quiet way to do it.
The inside of the bucket was looking like one of Picasso's finest works.
Okay, camera.
I'm talking plastered all over the whole inside of this bucket. I was beyond mortified and in tears. He told me he was going to get us back to the marina, but I told him to just keep fishing because there was no way I was going to be able to control this bucket from sliding all over the boat.
Throw it overboard. I'm sorry, sea turtles, but get it off and then buy another bucket.
I still had high hopes I was going to feel better. Little did I know this was just the beginning.
Great.
The mix of seasickness, anxiety, and the utter embarrassment made me sick in more ways than one. The demon decided it needed to come out of both ends. And there I was, shitting explosively into a bucket and violently vomiting over the side of the boat as Ryan continued to fish for bait. He kept asking me what he could do to help me, but there was honestly nothing he could do in that moment since we were so far off from shore. I asked him for some space so I could just get everything out of me.
He's like, yeah, I'll be 5 feet over here.
Get away. The 5 feet's better than 1 foot. Get away from me as far as possible.
I'm sorry, Ryan. You shouldn't be asking if there's anything I can do for you. You got to put the fucking minnows away and you got to get this woman back on land. It's going to take an hour, but start the trek now because it's going to be an hour and 30.
When I finally had the opportunity to catch my breath, I noticed a seagull bobbing around in the waves, seemingly minding its own business. This seagull took my mind off of reality for a few minutes until I realized the state the bucket was in. I could not have Ryan see the artwork that I created. So I tried to clean out the bucket by dipping it into the water. A tremendous amount of artwork was still on display in the bucket. Ryan saw me in my struggle, and being the man he is, he took the bucket and cleaned it out. He cleaned out what I couldn't. The embarrassment began to take over even more as he continued to aggressively dip the bucket into the water to remove the skid marks off the bucket. The sweaty palms and weak knees returned, followed by the dreaded bubble guts. I asked for the bucket back and for him to return to fishing to give me space. Round 2, here we go. As I'm back on the bucket, he notices that the seagull was flailing towards the boat and landed pretty close to the boat and started to eat what he thought was bait. It wasn't eating bait. It was eating my expelled demons.
Excuse me?
At least the lunch I ate didn't completely go to waste, but this triggered me to return to throwing up over the side of the boat.
Wait, the seagull that once comforted her is now eating her
shit. Then I hear Ryan say, if this ain't love, then I don't know what love is.
This is one of the most horrific stories I think we've ever told.
This was the first time the man ever expressed the L word to me.
Oh.
I looked at him from the other end of the boat and asked, did you just say love? He responded, well, yes, I love you. Before I could tell him I loved him too, I had to expel the last of the demons while the seagull was still snacking.
This sounds like the movie The Wrong Missy.
My embarrassment turned into shamelessness as I looked up at the man who just confessed his love to me while I was in the most vulnerable state of my life, shitting on a bucket. My tears turned into happy tears as I told him I loved him too. Mind you, he was still giving me space and fishing on the other end of the boat. Here we are, 4 years later, still telling each other we love one another and wondering if this was a rough case of seasickness or something else. We have been able to enjoy the ocean together, but we have agreed to stick to the harbor cruises when I'm on board. To this day, his friend has no idea about the adventure his bucket went on. Here's to being feral, but not as feral as the snacking seagull. Best fishes, bucket shits, and cabin 6.
That was crazy.
I know, but I love the ending.
It was really sweet. My eyes are watering. That was really sweet. Ryan did redeem himself in that part, but I do still think he should have read the room and drove him back before the seagull got to the poop deck.
Yeah, well, hindsight's always 20/20.
That was sweet though. That
seagull
was crazy.
fed.
Stop. Enough. This episode is sponsored in part by BetterHelp. Here at Camp Shady Birch, we are all about community. We're your support system, you know? But finding the right support system outside of camp is so important. And let's be honest, in a society that glorifies hyper-independence, it's easy to forget that we're all better when we have a support system behind us. And therapy can be a great source of support for any area of your life. It's time to shift the focus from doing it all to knowing we're better when we ask for help. Personally, I've learned so much in therapy. I've learned so much about myself. I've learned so many new coping mechanisms and coping skills and how to set boundaries. It truly empowers me to be the best version of myself. And I want that for everyone. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable and convenient, serving over 5 million people worldwide. Access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists with a wide range of specialties. And you can easily switch therapists at any time at no extra cost. Build your support system with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/camp to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/CAMP. BetterHelp.com/camp. I too have a scary story. That was scary.
That was the bubble guts.
Hi, counselors. Huge fan of the pod, and I absolutely adore you two. You make me laugh.
You make me laugh.
My friend group and I incorporated all of your phrases. Nunu nana, strong mama, roarin', etc. Okay, love you too, camper. And if any new campers are listening and have no idea what that means, go to campshadybirch.com and it'll give you the full rundown. Check out the glossary. We've got a little index. We've got a Rolodex. It'll explain everything. Okay. I have a truly hilarious and unfortunate coincidence I would like to share with the group. So this might be a long one. As a single girl, I was always curious of the dating apps. I have had boyfriends throughout college and one that lingered for a while after college, so I didn't really have much experience dating in the real world. I ended up signing up for Raya, based on what friends had said, which is the famous person dating app. Yeah, for campers. I feel like everybody knows Raya at this point. But campers, if you don't know what Raya is, I don't know.
It's like Tinder for famous people.
I don't know what credentials you have to get, but you have to apply and be approved.
Or if you have a friend that's on it, they can get you an approval.
They said that by joining the app, I have higher chances of potentially finding a professional athlete husband. Hubba hubba.
Oh my God, you definitely can find out like what is it called? WAGs?
I know of some heavy hitters that are on Raya. And I think too, like a lot of people just don't really talk about it because you can get deleted from the app or banned completely if you speak of the people who are on it. The app definitely delivered as promised. I went on a few dates with some professional athletes that I will not name, but no boyfriend or husband in sight. Oof. Camper, tell us. We won't tell, I promise. No, I can't promise that. Then I got a message from this guy from Canada who plays on a professional lacrosse team. Interesting. Didn't even think that was a thing.
Neither did I. But I guess that makes sense.
But I'm not a big sports girly, clearly.
Either am I, Camper.
He wanted to take me to a concert. The absolute gall of this man taking a woman to a concert on a first date. But okay, free ticket.
That is a weird first date.
That's hard to hold a conversation. And yeah, you're just looking at the profile of this person.
And you're like,
yeah, awkwardly dancing and
that's
like
weird.
Drinking.
That's so weird.
It is weird. Okay, but free ticket. I ended up going and actually having a good time.
Okay.
He goes back and forth between where I live and to Canada frequently. So I ended up seeing him a few more times. Okay. Last time I saw him, we ended up getting freaky. And to my absolute shock, the next day, my throat started feeling strange. Then what felt like a throat tickle turned into one of the worst weeks of my life. That motherfucker gave me strep throat.
Ugh, gross. I hate strep throat.
I've never had it.
It's awful. It feels like you're swallowing glass. It's so uncomfortable. Terrible. You lose a lot of weight on it though.
I was on antibiotics.
You almost said it again. Antibiotic.
I was on antibiotics.
Antibiotics. I like when you say it that way. Say it your way.
I was on antibiotics for a literal week and I was in serious hell, practically on my deathbed. Don't know about you guys, but I haven't had strep throat since I was 11. This motherfucker knocked me out. I never heard from him again, probably because in all caps I texted him, "You gave me strep throat, ho."
You gave me strep throat, ho. He's like, okay.
I ended up deleting Raya shortly after. Not a super shocking story, but here comes the funny part. 8 months later, I'm at one of my favorite bars with all my girlies, and it's just about closing time. We turn, and there's a group of guys wearing suits. They're so sexy. They come up and want to buy us drinks.
Hell.
You want to buy us drinks? Oh, I don't know. Okay.
What will Mama and Papa think?
I'll have a tall glass of milk.
Hold the ice.
Immediately, I ask, "What's with the suits?"
She's crazy.
I'm giving crazy voices. So, yeah, wait, this campers, honestly, we're friends. Their answer, "We're a professional lacrosse team from out of town." She's like, "Okay, well, that is exactly my type." So the drinks are flowing. I'm hitting it off.
What are the chances it's another professional lacrosse team?
I know. I kind of want to know where this camper is at.
Probably New York.
Not because I'm interested in a professional lacrosse player. Drinks are flowing. I'm hitting it off with this one man. Turns out he's super cute and super Canadian, playing for a professional lacrosse team. I guess there's multiple. I don't know. Sounds familiar.
They're not playing with themselves.
Yeah, they have to be playing other teams, girly. Clearly, I have a type. Now listen, everyone gets a little touch deprived, okay? And I'm like, surely this won't happen again with a different guy. So we leave the bar together. I'm giving him a tour of my place. We start the new nana. He has to leave for an early flight, so I shoo him out of my place and I go to bed.
Shoo.
Yes, she has her little hanky and she's like, "Get out of here." Oh my God. And he's like, "Hey, when can I see you again, big guy?"
"I don't know if I'll ever see you again. Not in this town, of course. I have places to be, people to meet, and you're not the one I'm going to be with. Shoo.
"Hey, Sally, I'll write you every day. I swear it, I'll write you every day."
They always say that, don't they? And they never come back. They never do. Men are nothing but trash.
"You see the moon up there? You want me to go up there and get it down for you?"
"You couldn't get the moon if you tried."
End scene. Where even was I? Everything's in black and white. I can't see. Oh, we're back in Technicolor. Okay. I woke up the next morning to feeling a little funky, but it had been lack of sleep, I guess. Monday, I continued to feel a little weird. Then I woke up Tuesday. Life complete shambles. I've never been so sick in my entire life. What the fuck is this? I go to urgent care. They say, I have a sinus infection. You have to be kidding. I've never had a sinus infection in my life. I was literally bedridden for multiple days. I couldn't believe it. Yet another week of antibiotics. All thanks to another Canadian professional lacrosse player. Like, what the fuck even is that sport?
Ho?
Anyway, Canada, y'all must be built different. Clearly, my weak American immune system could not handle the men. Should have learned my lesson the first time. Do not hook up with Canadian professional lacrosse player unless you want an unfortunate week. Haha. Stay.
Haha. Ho.
Haha ho. Stay safe out there, guys. Love, the wag trying to find her husband in cabin 69.
What are the chances to get sick from 2 Canadian professional lacrosse players after a hookup?
No, they definitely had like some strain of
They're
some
dirty,
flow.
dirty boys.
No, dirty, disgusting boys. Their locker rooms are nasty and
but they
stinky.
were hot.
Yeah, they were hot. I get it.
They
But
promised you the moon, but they left you with syphilis. That's what men do, don't they?
camper, maybe have an emergency or take like a daily vitamin.
Yeah.
Hey, you're never too old for the Flintstones, you know?
Yeah, but she was too old to get strep.
Honestly,
I had strep as an adult for the first time and the only time. It was awful. I had it at like 23. It was awful.
I've never had. What a fabulous end to a fabulous episode. I'm going to go on record and say that thus far, 2025 has been the year of the best trail mix stories we've ever gotten.
I think they're all good. I love
But that's
all of them.
no shade to the ones who've submitted before. It's just like we've had a conglomerate of like incredible stories. So keep sending them our way and we would love to share them with the world. You can go to campcounselorspodcast.com or send us an email, campcounselorspod@gmail.com.
And as always, if you're enjoying the show, please rate and review 5 stars, share it with another camper, another friend. Yeah, and we'll see you Wednesday, we'll see you Monday, and we'll see you forever. And with that being said,
Lights out, campers.